What's up, guys, and welcome to the Tim Sports Talk. We have the Sunday night football game, Eagles versus the 49ers. The Eagles get their first win, 25-20 against San Francisco. It was tough, okay? Because we have Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard for San Francisco. That's a tough one. Sports fan all day. Eagles fan on this planet. They have the worst fans in the NFL. He said it twice. He really meant it. How's it going, sports fan? No, but Carson Wentz, man. 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He did have a rushing touchdown, 7 carries, 37 yards. McKinnon had a decent day, 14 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. But it's the main guy today was George Kittle. Man, is he something special. I went against him in fantasy football, and he made it rough, let me tell you. 15 catches, 183 yards, and a touchdown. Wow, what a day for George Kittle. And it's hilarious because Nick Mullins only had 200 yards, CJ Beathard 138. Okay, so he had almost 2/3 of the receiving yards on the day. Miles Sanders didn't do much. The Eagles didn't even play all that amazing. It's just right now they're really going against the San Francisco corpses because San Francisco doesn't have anybody to play, it seems like. They're on their third quarterback now. They should have started CJ Beathard from the beginning. There's an argument for that. I know he played well. He played well when they played against us. And I don't remember who their starting quarterback was. Was it Blaine Gabbert back in the day? This was a long time ago. But CJ Beathard came in and put in a spark. We ended up still winning that game, but it was a much closer game than it should have been because San Francisco was not good at that time. But, yep, and let's see here. Yeah, neither team really great on third down. We have 4 for 13 from the Eagles, 5 for 11 from San Francisco. San Francisco had 417 total yards of offense, and while Eagles only had 267, a big reason they won, they had a pick 6 from Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins had 2 picks on the day. Yes, he is, grandson, right? Bobby Beathard's grandson? I don't think he's his son. I think it's his grandson. Time of possession was pretty even, 30-29, but it's the turnovers, man. San Francisco 3 turnovers to the Eagles 1. You can't really win that way, man. You can't really win that way. Eagles also were 2 for 2 on fourth down, So, very tough day for the Niners. And, the Eagles are now first in their division, man. They have a stranglehold on the division with that half a point ahead of us with that tie against Cincinnati. So, that I do not see that staying. I believe that the Cowboys will end up winning this division, even though their secondary wants to prove me wrong each and every week. Holy crap, is their secondary so awful. Now, 3 weeks in a row, Matt Ryan crushed them, Russell Wilson crushed them, and no, it was actually, what's crazy is I actually looked at it. Baker Mayfield didn't even have that great of a day. So I have to go look more into what's going on with that one, but we're now nearly averaging 40 points in the last 3 weeks coming from the Cowboys. So, and San Francisco, I don't see them going anywhere. They're in a terribly tough division, and now they're sitting at 2-2 with half their team on IR. So they're not going to have a good season, unfortunately, because they are a really good team. But who knows what can happen. There is 7 teams making the playoffs now, so maybe they can somehow squeeze in to get another spot, but I doubt it with the rest of the teams in the NFC. The NFC is pretty strong right now. So I see the Niners, maybe around 500, even with this banged-up roster, because they're so well coached. Everybody hates on Kyle Shanahan because of the fourth quarter comebacks, which is rough. That is bad for the man named Kyle Shanahan, but he's still a fantastic coach. They know how to run the ball. They know they have a fantastic defense. So they'll probably still finish around 500, even with the beat-up team. Meanwhile, the Eagles 1-2-1. They're going to struggle throughout the year because Carson Wentz 18 for 28, 193 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. he's still not playing well, and it's crazy. And I guess it's because they talk about he does have some injuries to his offensive line. He does have some injuries to his receivers. Right now, his leading receiver was, I don't even know who this guy is. Travis Fulgham, Travis Fulgham. 2 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown, which was a beauty, by the way. That was a fantastic touchdown. Circus catch, stayed in bounds somehow, and reached the ball across the goal line. Fantastic catch coming from, coming from a relative no-name. I don't know who he is. Ward is a guy that I just heard of this year. He may even be a rookie. Greg Ward. He's his second leading receiver, 4 catches, 38 yards. He doesn't have anybody to throw to. Zach Ertz, 4 catches, 9 yards. He did have a 2-point conversion in that, I believe. NFC East standings, Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles, and the Smurfs. That's not correct. We are ahead of the Cowboys, and the Eagles are now actually leading the division at 1-2-1. So it's Eagles at number 1, Redskins at number 2, Cowboys at number 3, and yes, the Smurfs, not the Giants, sitting at number 4. Let's go around the rest of the NFL today. It was an interesting day. You have the Bengals versus the Jaguars. Bengals, Joe Mixon had a heck of a day. I believe he had what did I write down? I think he had 181 total yards of offense with 3 touchdowns. Mike Pryor, if the Giants can almost beat the Rams, we should be able to crap on them easy. It's still going to be tough. They're a really good team. I know it was a tough day for the Rams. They ended up only winning 17-9. I wonder what was going on with that, because they should have been able to crush the Giants, which maybe the Giants are not as bad as we think they are. That's probably true. They're pretty bad. But the Rams did struggle. Let's see here. Yep, Cowboys lose to the Browns. Fantastic. Odell Beckham with 3 touchdowns, including a throw-in touchdown from Jarvis Landry. That's awesome. Saints, Lions. Lions actually went up on the Saints 14-0, and then the Saints came roaring back with 35 unanswered points, but then the Lions made a game out of it, 35-29 at the end, but not enough to come back. Dolphins played the Seahawks really tough today. They were in the game pretty much the whole way. Ryan Fitzmagic keeping them in the ball game. What did he end up with today? He ended up with 315 yards, but he had 2 interceptions. He did have a rushing touchdown coming from Fitzpatrick. Russell Wilson had a mediocre day for his standards. He's really, really good. No, that's my season-ending prediction. Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Okay, so that's your season-ending Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles, the Smurfs. Yeah, I mean, it's a toss-up right now between us and the Eagles of who's worse, and we beat the Eagles, so I guess that's fair. And we have a couple of tough games coming up where the Eagles already played the Bengals. I don't know. Yeah, so that's fair. Fair enough. I'll take it. I will take the second place finish even with the bad team. Continuing around the NFL here. Bucks-Chargers game, man. Justin Herbert had a really good day. Unfortunately, he threw a pick to ice the game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But Tom Brady, 5 touchdowns, 369 yards. He did have a pick 6, which was rough. But Justin Herbert, man, in just this is his 3rd start. 20 for 25, 290 yards and 3 touchdowns. Had a really nice touch on the ball. That touchdown to Guyton was really good. So, very interesting. And also, Austin Eckler went down for the rest of the game. So, with little running game, he just had a really good... He's continuously to show some really good stuff coming from the rookie Justin Herbert. Let's see here. Yeah, Tom Brady, man. The ageless wonder. 5 touchdowns on the day. Cardinals, Panthers. Cardinals are now on a downward slide, losing to the Lions last week and now Carolina this week. Teddy Bridgewater, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Not too bad from the old vet. And Mike Davis, 16 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. But Kyler Murray, man, only 133 yards through the air. He did have 3 touchdowns, and he had 78 yards on the ground. But 200 total yards coming from Kyler Murray is not enough. Not enough at all. And Kenyon Drake continues to not have it. The last 2 weeks, Kenyon Drake has been bad, and I have him on one of my fantasy teams, and he's really been bad all year, especially considering he was a second-round pick. Not good for coming from Kenyon Drake. And the Cardinals. And DeAndre Hopkins apparently was coming into the game injured today, so he had a mediocre day. Really sub-mediocre. I mean, from his standards, it's really tough. The Texans fall to 0-4. This has got to be one of the best 0-4 teams you've ever seen. But they just happen to play really, really good freaking football team so far. They played Kansas City. They played Ravens. Then they played Steelers. And now they played the Vikings. These are 4 playoff teams. And it's tough. And they almost scored the touchdown. But Will Fuller actually dropped it. Very rough for Will Fuller. Watching RG3 throw that pick made my day. Hey, we had to look for something here, Redskins fans, because otherwise you would want to cry because there was nothing else really to cheer for. Except Antonio Gibson. Antonio Gibson had a really good day. I liked what I saw from him. He ran really well. I'm curious to go back and watch the rest of that game. Colts Bears. Nick Foles gets his first start, and it doesn't go well. The Colts have a really good defense, though, so I know the Bears fans are not going to be happy about that performance. I think he ended up with only like less than 200 yards on the day. Let me double check. Oh, he did have 249 yards. Okay, a touchdown and a pick. David Montgomery, 10 carries, 27 yards. But I'm telling you, that Colts defense is a really, really strong defense coming from the Colts. Let's see here. Couple more games. Bills, Raiders, freaking Josh Allen continues. Three more touchdowns through the air. No, excuse me, 2 more touchdowns through the air. 288 yards. And they continue with 4-0. The Bills, man, looking really, really strong. And with the Patriots probably going to lose tomorrow because no Cam Newton against that great Chiefs team. They now have 2 games up on their arch nemesis, the New England Patriots. They really want that division, and I think they're finally going to get it after, man, what has it been, 25 years since the Buffalo Bills won the division? Long time running. They had like 20 years in a row they missed the playoffs, so good for them. They have a really good squad all around, really well coached by McDermott, so glad to see the Bills win again 30-23 over the Las Vegas Raiders. And, yep, that pretty much wraps it up for the day, except, no, wait, we have the Rams-Giants game. We briefly touched on it. 17-9 Rams over New York. Let's see what Danny Dimes did today. 190 yards and an interception. Not much. Man, he had really no run game either. I guess they averaged 5 yards a carry total. Devontae Freeman had a rough day. 11 carries, 33 yards, only 3 yards a carry. Wayne Gallman, 6 carries, 45 yards. All right, not too bad. What's up, Chrissy? Man, we'll be back on top next week. Hey, if we can beat the Rams, I believe we have the Rams next week, right? Do we have the Rams or the Giants? I think it's the Rams next week, isn't it? Don't we play the Rams pretty early? I think it's the Rams. Yeah, we got the Rams. Yep. And then who do we have after that? And then it's the Giants. Then it's Giants, Cowboys, Giants, right? The Lambs. Well, the Lambs are 3-1 right now, so let's not crap on the Rams too hard. All right, the Rams are a pretty solid team, even though that they have lost to a couple of, they lost one game, but they've struggled against a couple of other teams. They didn't really blow out the Cowboys. They didn't blow out the Eagles, and they didn't really do much again against the Giants today. So the NFC East has played them tough, but they are 3-0 against the NFC East. Can we be the one team that they lose to? I'm rooting for it. I hope you guys are too. Alrighty. Let's go back to the scores. Cowboys got killed. So happy. You know, the defense got freaking fried up, but Dak Prescott throwing 500 yards. He's on a team where he cannot fail, though. I believe I've told you guys this before, but good grief. weapons out the yin. Even the tight end. I can't believe it. Spoiled Day for Gaming. Today, a good day. One fantasy with 80 points. Drew proved haters wrong. It's wonderful. Man, the freaking Detroit came out firing today, didn't they, Gaming? Good grief. They had 14-0 on you quick, and then I think you had 35 unanswered points after that. But, yep, congrats on the win. What do you guys sit at now? 3-1? No, 2-2. 2-2, because you guys lost to the Packers and lost to the Raiders. Let's go to scores. Yeah, let's go to this Saints game. Let's see what happened. Look at here. Drew Brees had a pretty mediocre day by his standards. 246 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Kamara, 19 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown again. God, the man is a monster, Alvin Kamara. But Emmanuel Sanders woke up, 6 catches, 93 yards. Good, you needed that. Come on, man. Come on. Detroit's an interesting team, though. They're sitting at 1-3. They should have beat the Bears. I don't know. I have a little bit of a soft spot for Matt Stafford. I think he's a pretty darn good quarterback. He's a little bit of an underrated quarterback. Not a lot of people think of him, but you know, at the same time, he doesn't get that many wins, and you know, he's got some weapons over there. So I guess you can't talk too high of him. The Smurfs suck. They will get Trevor Lawrence, maybe they will get Trevor Lawrence. Defense was getting stops too. That's good. Well, up 14-0. You had 15 the rest of the way. So yeah, your defense did seem to play pretty well. We still on the tiebreaker against the Eagles, so I ain't worried. But nope, there is not going to be a tiebreaker, Chrissy. Before I finish the rest, they have a tie. Unless we get a tie, there is no more tiebreaker against the Eagles. So that really, our win over the Eagles is now moot. It does not matter whatsoever. We have to have a better record than them at the end of the year. That win is not going to mean anything because they have a tie. But let's finish your comment. Ain't worried. Plus, they have the Steelers next week. They'll lose. I agree. That one, Dallas will beat Giants next week. We have to beat the Rams. Yes. Tim, do you think we can win 6 games this year? I predicted a 6-10. I still think we can win. I still think we could sweep the Giants potentially. I think we can beat the Joe Burrow and Bengals still. Carolina Panthers, they've played really well, but I think we still have a chance to win that game. You know, we could steal one from the Cowboys with how bad their defense is. You know, there's still some potential to win 6 games. The Haskins has got to improve, but this defense is still pretty solid as well. Chase Young should be back in a week or two. So I think we still have a chance to win 6 games, yes. But, 5-6, that I'm in there. Some people say, 2-14, 1-15. I don't think that's where we're at. I think we're pretty well coached. Our penalties have been down a lot lately, which is really, really good. If we lose, we're probably fine. Fire our defensive coordinator. The 2 games I've watched, your defense got fried up, so that's probably not a bad idea. We should be fine. Antonio Gibson and Terry McLaurin got their touches, but Gibson needs more carries than catches. I don't care how we get Antonio Gibson the ball. That man makes plays, and he looks really good while doing it. I even like, some of these short runs, they're hard-earned short runs. He's not getting blown up immediately. He makes a guy miss, and they have to kind of surround him with multiple tacklers. So I like everything. Get him the ball any way we can, and I like Antonio Gibson. We're in second place right now. Correct. We are in second place. Spoiler for gaming. Odell, I know, is known for destroying the Cowboys. Not surprised. Well, his 2 amazing catches. No, sorry, the one was against us. But the amazing, fantastic catch that everybody knows came in a loss. The Giants actually lost that game. Trashkins is losing us these games. Today was not Haskins. I don't care. He wasn't good today, but nobody was good today. And it's because we played probably the second best team in the league, no lower than third, if you really look at it. We played a fantastic team today, and it was going to be a rough day no matter how we did it. But, Haskins had no turnovers today, which is nice. I would like to see him throw the ball downfield a couple more times, especially late. He's throwing them underneath when you really need to go downfield. And it's really struggling, man. Rookie of the year is Herbert or Burrow. Herbert or Burrow? And you can't forget about Clyde Edwards-Helaire there, Spoiled Aid Food Gaming. You can't go to Helaire is is still existing. So, and he's having a fantastic season. But if Burrow continues on what he does and they end up, if they end up with like 7 wins, Burrow might be able to get the Rookie of the Year. But Kansas City's going to do well, and Hilaire's going to have the stats to back it up. So Hilaire may steal it from both of them. I'd rank him 30, 31 right now out of 32 QBs. It's, I'd have to go and look through in all the QBs, but it can't be much higher. If it's any higher, 29, 28 at best. But you're probably right, to be honest. I'm curious, Mike Pryor, who do you have ranked under him? Tell me who you have ranked under him right now. Sports fan all day. Not today, but week 2 and week 3 were his fault. Week 2 and week 3 definitely were struggling coming from Haskins. I agree, especially last week against the Browns. He played really bad, and it struggled. 3 interceptions in one game, and then a fumble on top of that. That's not going to be enough. Herbert almost beat Brady and Mahomes. He has a good future. Agreed, man. Agreed. I liked Herbert coming out of the draft. Big body, strong arm from Oregon. I did like him coming out of the draft. So I'm rooting for him. I think he did good. And he's doing fantastic. Yeah. I'm not mad at today's game. Today we faced a team that was better, this is Chrissy, than us, and other games we lost, we beat ourselves. I would like to see Gandy Golden as our number 2. Inman is too slow. Gandy Golden, I think, is actually kind of struggling right now. He is a rookie coming from Liberty. It's probably a lot going on right now, and I don't think he's quite there yet to be our number 2, but I still have faith that he can come up. He's big-bodied, 6'4", really good hands, can make acrobatic catches, but I think right now he's kind of struggling with the NFL level and the NFL corners, so he has to kind of grow into himself right now for Gandy Golden. And so Inman right now is fine. Inman is 6'3", he's not small by any stretch. He kind of looks small out there, but he's a big body receiver as well. And so Inman's not the worst guy you can have behind Scary Terry. Sam Darnold. What about him? Oh, that's the QB that was ranked below. Fair. I mean, that might be true. I don't know. Sam Darnold's not pretty good. He's not good. Chrissy, he's not just good. He's just not good enough coming from Haskins for enough. Under him, I have Brett Ripien and Stidham. Well, they're not starting quarterbacks. So, of course, I'd hope they're under him, right? They're not even on starting caliber. But obviously, as a Skins fan, I'm high on any Ripiens. Fair enough. Yeah, Mark Ripien's nephew. He looked pretty good on Thursday. He had a couple of really bad interceptions, but he had some good flashes. He's an interesting character. Darnold is way better than Haskins. Right now, he's on Adam Gase's team, and Adam Gase is so bad of a head coach. He's the worst head coach right now in the NFL. I don't know how much more you can expect from Sam Darnold in this situation right now. And he did have that crazy run, but, there's still things that you would like to see more out of Sam Darnold. But they got rid of his weapons, man. And he doesn't have Le'Veon right now. He's Robbie Anderson's gone. Who's the other? I think they got rid of a different receiver as well. And right now his best receiver is Crowder. Burrow, I can't wait for Burrow and Herbert in the prime. Burrow reminds me of Drew Brees, and Herbert reminds me of Peyton Manning. Hold the brakes now. Hold the brakes. Peyton Manning's my favorite player, all right? And Herbert, I don't know if you're going to be calling Herbert Peyton Manning, but, I hope so. I would love to see Drew Brees versus Peyton Manning for another, 10, 15 years. And if that has to be in Burrow and Herbert's body, I'll take it. And Burrow does look legit. He looks very good. I'm glad he got his first week. Adam Gase equals Jay Gruden, way worse in my opinion. Way worse, okay? Jay Gruden, there was problems with Jay Gruden. He couldn't pick a defensive coordinator. His defensive coordinators were awful. Joe Barry and Greg Minuski, terrible, terrible defensive coordinators. But he also couldn't call a run game. But Adam Gase is a freaking dingling from everything I hear. Like, I can't believe that they have any faith in this guy. And, Crazy Eyes McGee over there, he needs to go. Mike Pryor, he might be as good as prime Rex Grossman. He might be as good as prime Rex Grossman. Talking about Haskins, I guess. Chrissy, Terry, he had 10 catches for 110 yards. He needs another player to help him. If we had any other QB other than Haskins, we would be 3-1. I'm not mad at Haskins. We just need that second receiver via trade or free agency. We need quite a bit right now. A tight end is actually probably more important than a second receiver. I don't mind Inman. I don't mind Gandy Golden. I like Isaiah Wright. Isaiah Wright shows a lot of good stuff right now. But I think a tight end would be absolutely critical right now for a young quarterback. So I think the lack of tight end is a struggle for Dwayne Haskins. If I'll give him any excuse, I would say it's a lack of tight end. Logan Thomas is not the guy. Jeremy Sprinkle, not the guy. Marcus Ball is not seeing the field enough to be able to tell you if he's the guy or not. But having a really good tight end would help. Maybe we need to draft one. Spoiled it for gaming. I look at this game, his game. Herbert got that strong arm, that will to win. He can manage a game. I just hope the Chargers don't waste that talent, because imagine the Redskins with Herbert. Dude, he's looked good from everything I've seen. I've only really watched highlights. He hasn't been on prime time yet. Hopefully the Chargers are on prime time. Those are the games I've been watching. But Justin Herbert he does have a strong arm. And he's a big body dude, 6'5", I believe. Really, really good quarterback. I like him a lot. Herbert is Trent Dilfer? Absolutely not. You're crazy, sports fan all day. That's ridiculous. Herbert is Trent Dilfer. Shut your face. Shut it, sports fan all day. Shut it. I feel bad for Burrow. I say once he a free agent, go to a team with weapons. Dude, he's got him. No, Tyler Boyd's not bad. I don't know. And Joe Mixon's a monster coming out. Like, who else is on his team? AJ Green is old as dirt. He can go. But Tyler Boyd's really good. Let's see what the good old, I don't even remember who's all on their team right now. Higgins, Carter, Tate. Tate's okay. Mike Thomas, yeah, AJ Green. I don't know. I like Tyler Boyd a lot, and I like Joe Mixon. So, yeah, get some more weapons around him. But he had a 300-yard day today. 300 yards, a touchdown, 26 for 36. Only took one sack. I don't think he took any sacks last week. So, no, never mind. Last week he took 8 sacks. Holy crap, what am I saying? No, I like Joe Burrow. Landon Collins just need to go or something. He should be moved to the linebacker, and they need to start Cameron Curl. Apke needs to sit. Apke needs to sit bad. But no, I don't think you sit Landon Collins. Landon Collins hasn't played extremely well right now. I'll give you that. But then again, freaking Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray can make you look silly. And that's what they've done so far. That stiff arm today for Landon Collins from Lamar Jackson was pretty embarrassing, and a lot of fans are going to have that in their mind. But Landon Collins is still a really good player that he should stay where he is. But I'm all on board with you with Troy Apke. Troy Apke is not the answer at free safety. Bengals has endless weapons. What are you saying? I don't mind their weapons at all. I think that he has some good stuff going around him. His offensive line may need some help, though, because 8 sacks last week was really bad. Sports fan all day, we need a QB. I even have Trashkins on my PFP. I don't know what PFP, unless you're talking about fantasy football. The Dolphins should have drafted Herbert because Tua already having injury problems. Is Tua injured again? Yeah, well, that's going to be huge. Is he injured? Like, his injuries, is it the same injury, or does he have a whole different injury? Oh, profile picture. Okay, fair enough. I'm an old dude. No, not really, but look, I like teams who draft players who has injured problems, but it's not good for that team. I'm curious to know if Burrow would have fell to us if we would have taken him. Absolutely. Absolutely. If Joe Burrow would have, if some godforsaken reason Cincinnati Bengals would have taken Chase Young over Joe Burrow, we may have actually traded out of that position because our position would have been hot. Hot. if we had Joe Burrow at number 2. We probably could have got a ransom for him if somehow he fell. So I actually probably would imagine we would have actually traded out of the position and then try to actually build this team a little bit. But he would have gone number 2 if somehow he didn't go number 1, whether that be us or somebody else. The Redskins had the first pick in the draft. No, they had the second pick in the draft. They're gaming second pick. I'm happy with Chase Young. He'll be a defensive rookie of the year, but if he could have had both of them, he would have been a blessing. We could have got Burrow and Chase Young. Yeah, if we could only have gotten the top 2 picks in the draft, wouldn't that be nice? We have Marcus Davenport, and he had an injury problem. Yeah, I don't know all that much about Marcus Davenport personally, but as far as injury problems go. Tua returns to practice. So Tua returned to practice. What was his situation? Suffered a dislocated hip and a posterior wall fracture against Mississippi State. Impact. That's the one that he had, in college. Timeline of setbacks. This is an old article. What's his injury, Gaming? I don't know what you're referring to. Chase Young should have weight. You should have drafted Herbert because Haskins was terrible going into the season. I love pass rusher, but get your QB ready first. I hate teams who do that. Get your future. Well, I mean, you could say that, but look at San Francisco. They just made it to the Super Bowl last year, Like, you can make a move for quarterback. You can say that Haskins was bad going in, but I actually made a video. You can go back and watch. It was Dwayne Haskins in my words. And through that video, I talk about there was actually some progression coming from Dwayne Haskins towards that end of the year. He started the year with 5 interceptions, but then he ended the year with 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and one of those was just at the end of the half trying to make a play, throwing it downfield. So there was improvements. And his last 2 games against the Giants and the Eagles were actually pretty well played, and the Giants, he ended up getting hurt in the first half. You would like to see a shootout, but he had 2 touchdowns before he got hurt. So, to say that like there was nothing going there with Dwayne Haskins, it's not completely true because last year he did show some flashes before the end of the season. So I don't necessarily hate not going with Herbert. I like getting Chase Young, and then if we get Trey Lance next year in the draft, it's all worth it, right? Because now we have Chase Young and Trey Lance. I'll take that over Justin Herbert. I'll tell you that right now. Toe and shoulder, he'd been out since last year. I knew he had a problem with his hip. I just read that again, but I knew he had that problem. But I thought I made it seem like there was like another injury that he had recently. Did he not? But I don't want to use another first-round pick on a QB that may not even turn out good. That's why I'd rather just trade for one and get one free agency. I mean, you always take the risk on a first-round pick not working out. But the thing is quarterback's the most important position, and it's also the most important position if you can get him on a deal. If you get a quarterback for 5 years on a rookie deal, that's for lack of a better term, that's a big deal. So getting that young quarterback is very, very, very important. That's why the Ravens are so good right now. That's why the Chiefs are so good right now. They have these young quarterbacks on cheap deals. Even Pat Mahomes' big deal, the next 2 years, he's getting paid very, very, very little. So, it's very important to get a QB on a cheap deal because these quarterbacks are going for outrageous prices, and you can't build a team around them. You go pay Dak Prescott $40 million next year, and you're going to struggle. Let's see here. Bill Belichick drafted Garoppolo. He was going to be good. Everything that Bill Belichick touches, right, turns to gold. Cam Newton will be great a free agent next year if we don't get a high pick and we can't trade up. You think Ron will get Cam? He will be a great free agent if he stays healthy throughout the entire year. And obviously that does not include COVID, but his problem the last 4 or 5 years has been injury since that MVP season. He's basically not played a full season since then, and so that's more of his problem. And if he gets injured again, he's pretty much dead in the water. Nobody's going to really be interested in him because you can't afford to lose your quarterback mid-season. That's just something, not everybody's the Eagles and have Nick Foles come out and score, basically not miss a step and win a Super Bowl. That's very rare. Sports fan, the QB market at the time wasn't that good. Yeah, Lamar about to get a bag. He's going to get a heck of a deal, especially if that dude can stay healthy, because that's the only thing going to stop him, to be honest, from having a fantastic career is some injuries. But that man's legs, he can throw the ball, fine. He's a good thrower of the football. He's not Pat Mahomes or anything like that, but what he can do with his legs is like nobody else. Only Kyler Murray comes close, because Lamar's probably I don't like Skip Bayless, but I think he said this the best, to be honest. Lamar Jackson is the best running back in the league, but he's a legit thrower of the football. So nobody's going to stop him. Let's go get Chris Hogan or Dez Bryant. Dez, that Achilles injury is a big deal, especially at his age. I don't think Dez Bryant's going to have much of a future. But in Chris Hogan, I don't think he's going to do much for you. It's not like Chris Hogan's some fantastic number 2. Unfortunately, this is a down year for us. We're taking it as it comes. If Haskins grows and we start winning games, fantastic. But Ron Rivera's not making any moves to get stuff right now. He is looking to, he will offload stuff way before he onloads. Look at time for a big GM spoiled trade. Collins for a first-round pick, tank for Lawrence, and then draft a safety, and boom, agent spoiled. Trading Collins. If we can get rid of Collins right now for a first-round pick, I'm taking it. I think. Right? Oh, I would love Jonnu Smith, but Tennessee's not going to let him go. Jonnu Smith has been really, really good this season, but Tennessee's not going to let him go. They will sign him to another deal. Braxton Berrios. I know that name. Where's Berrios playing right now? I know Berrios. Is he on the Jets? Where's Berrios? Yeah, okay. Berrios was on the Jets. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I would love Jonnu Smith, though. He's a legit tight end. I would love Jonnu Smith. If somehow we can get a hold of him from Tennessee, I would take him in a heartbeat. All of that money we paid Landon, and he's not living up to it this season. He needs to get a contract restructured. If we can get a contract restructured, that's fantastic. And if we can get a first-round pick for him, I think we have to take it, right? I think we have to, right? I don't know. Gosh, that's tough. But, I just talked about offloading some pieces, and that's offloading some pieces, let me tell you. Or you can restructure his contract and pull the moves and free agents. I need a GM. I'm too good. I need to be a GM. I'm too good. Hey, yeah. Confidence is key, spoiled 8-Fit Gaming. Confidence is key. Confidence is key. All right, so tomorrow night, I'll still read some more comments if they come in. But tomorrow night, we got the Patriots and Chiefs with no Cam Newton, and the Falcons and the Packers. Should be a lot of offense tomorrow. A lot of offense. And, we're all very curious to see what the Patriots do to try to slow down Patrick Mahomes. They always talk about Bill Belichick's main goal is to get rid of your go-to weapons. So I'm very curious to see what kind of day Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill have. I think they're going to try to put it on the young rookie running back. The running back is going to have a big day, and not have to, but I think that's who's going to have a big day against the Patriots. That's who they're going to allow to have a good day, and they're going to try to shut down Travis Kelce. They're going to try to shut down Tyreek Hill and come out with Hilaire having a good day. We're not going to tank, especially with this division being so wide open. The Giants will have their number 1 pick for sure. If we get in the top 10, we trade whatever we can to move up and take a QB. You know, we're not tanking, but at the same time, we kind of are. You know, like, tanking is not the right word. We're trying to see what we have, but at the same time, Rivera's not trying to win. He's basically said as much. You know, not taking his timeouts, not going for a field goal there at the end when we're down by 18. That we needed to go for a field goal on 4th and long like that. We weren't going to score a touchdown there, but he's like, you know what? Let's see what Haskins can do, and he failed a test. Ron Rivera talked about how basically they were testing Dwayne Haskins on that 4th and 13, I believe it was, and it's like, you have to throw to the end zone. And he didn't. He threw underneath for a 5-yard gain or something like that. It's like, that's not going to cut it, dude. You have to make a play towards the end zone in that situation. 4th and 13. You have no underneath routes. There is nothing there. You have to buy time with your legs if you have to. You have to try to find a guy in the end zone. And Dwayne Haskins failed. We should tank for Tua's brother, the UMD guy. I don't know about that. Definitely not tanking for him. That's for sure. Get a lineman in the 4th round, and man, why shouldn't I be a GM? I can fix teams. I don't like linemen late. I like guards late, but I don't like a lot of linemen late, especially not tackles, and that's kind of what we need right now. Our left tackle is not fantastic in Jaron Christian, but, you know, Chris Cooley keeps rating him pretty high, so maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, and Dwayne, I don't think, took a lot of sacks today. What was his sack total? We did let Matthew Judon just walk right in. He had 3 sacks today with 40 yards, and one of them was, like, he needed to get rid of the ball. It was a ridiculous, like an 18-yard sack loss. Ridiculously stupid. Rivera is ass. He better start winning. Rivera's ass. Rivera's not ass. Mike Pryor. Yeah, he always takes big sacks or makes dumb throws. He doesn't know how to escape a sack. It's bad. It sucks. I think he had an 18-yard sack at one point. An 18-yard sack. Come on, man. You got to throw the ball away. You got to do something. Try to make something happen. But you can't freaking take an 18-yard sack. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculously bad. Yeah, I say trading Collins is the best course of action because he not earning that money, or sign Earl Thomas. We don't want anything to do with Earl Thomas. Only in 2020 can you forget that Earl Thomas ended up in a room naked with a mistress and his brother, all 3 naked, and his wife walked in and held him at gunpoint, screaming at him because they're mad he was cheating. Only in 2020 can you forget such a situation. That's insane. I think we'll get the 8th or 9th pick. With injuries and stuff, I think we'll probably be a little higher than that. Maybe 6th. I think we'll be just outside the top 5. Mike Pryor, what a G. Earl Thomas, man. Earl Thomas. Definitely not. The weed must have been hitting that day. Rivera's a great coach. The reason why Rivera didn't use those timeouts is to send a message to his team that he's not going to bail them out, especially the way they played. They didn't deserve a W. Very interesting take. I haven't heard that one. That's very interesting. Look at it, y'all cap. Who y'all biggest hit? We have a ton of cap space. A ton of it. We don't really need to make a whole lot of cap room, man. I think next year we have like something like 50 million or something, like 45 million. I'm looking it up again. But this year we still have a ton, to be honest. We didn't use a lot of it. I think next year we have like a ton of it. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. 2021, yeah, 55 million in cap. 55 million. And then we're going to get rid of Alex Smith. So that's an extra almost 15 million. So we're looking at $70 million of cap space. We do not need cap. But Ron has displayed more leadership qualities in 4 games than Jay Gruden and Bruce Allen did in their 16 combined years together. I hope this young team improves and Ron Rivera's our coach for the future. Agreed 100%. Bruce Allen was an utter disaster. Jay Gruden was a little bit better than Bruce Allen, but that's not saying much. Both were bad. Give all that to Dak. It's interesting, man. They have talked about that. It's very, very interesting that the idea that we could potentially get Dak Prescott, and I think it's a mistake to pay him all that money. I really do. I don't think he's worth that much money. I think he's in a situation where he can't fail. 502 yards. Wow, that's an amazing day. You have to give him all the money in the world. Yeah, but he has Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Zeke Elliott in the backfield, one of the best offensive lines in football, and then that young Schultz at tight end, who's a very talented young tight end. He's in a situation where he can't fail. Tony Pollard is the backup running back, a fantastic running back from Memphis. If he had bad numbers, that's embarrassing, to be honest. You know, it's not something that's going on. Turn into the Saints and draft a tackle, a guard, because the team with the line wins more games. Defense sign more pass rushers. Yeah, man, I wanted to draft a left tackle this year, but that was on the hopes that Dwayne Haskins was worked out. So interesting. Nah, all his stats are garbage. Stats, they come late in games when they're down by a ton. Yeah, well, he's trying to come back in those games, man. He brings his teams back from the depths, man. It turned out to be a 49-38, but they got a garbage touchdown at the end. Not a garbage, but they got an icing touchdown. Like, they were within 3 points at one point. I told Cowboy fans, don't pay Cooper. It was a bad choice. Cooper had a good day, though, man. What did Cooper have, man? Cooper's a good receiver. I don't know how much they paid him. But Cooper's a good receiver, dude. He had 12 catches, 135 yards, or 134 yards and a touchdown with only a long of 20. My man was all over the place doing it for him. So he had a good day. I don't mind paying Amari Cooper at all. I think Amari Cooper's worth the money. But they have so many weapons, dude. So many weapons. And one of the best offensive lines in football. Dak Prescott can't fail today. That would be embarrassing. You can't. The fact that he's 1-3 is really embarrassing as well. He did have an interception today, so that might have been why he had a rough one. We tried to pay Amari Cooper. He would have been better with us than the Cowboys. He would have been our number 2. They paid him 5 years, $100 million, $20 a year. That's right. That's what it was, $20 million a year. Also, to be honest, I feel like no one wants to play in Washington anymore because Snyder tainted the team's reputation. So when people like DJ Swearinger and Josh Norman leave, they only have bad things to say. Yeah, but I think that had a lot more to do with Jay Gruden rather than Dan Snyder. And also Bruce Allen was a snake. So we got rid of him. Jason Wright, our new team president, seems like a fantastic dude. Fantastic dude. Everything that comes out of, like, he seems like a real dude. He seems like, I really like what I see from Jason Wright. And then Ron Rivera is one of the best character dudes in the league. So we've changed a lot of that culture problem than we had in just those two hires alone, to be honest. So I don't hate what we're doing now, and I think that that's going to bring more people interested in here, but we have to get some wins under the belt. That's what brings more people is wins. If you could draft any of these 3 players, who would you draft? Sewell, Pitts, or Jamar Chase? I'm not drafting Jamar Chase. I don't care how talented he is. He's only 6 foot. I am not drafting Jamar Chase. And I bet, I don't even know that much. I just know that he's apparently the most talented receiver coming out of LSU this year, coming out of college. I bet he's not even a top 10 pick. That's my hot take. He's not even going to be a top 10 pick next year. You don't draft a receiver that high. Especially not one like that. I mean, Megatron, Julio Jones, these guys are special, crazy freaks of nature. But no, Jamar Chase not. Kyle Pitts I know nothing about. Sewell, I believe, is the best left tackle in the draft, so I would love to take Sewell. I don't know much about Kyle Pitts at all, to be honest. Back to the fix. The Redskins, how will you fix them? Let me read a couple more and I'll get right to that. I just want a good QB. Jay Gruden's tried to fight Swearinger. Oh, he would have got beaten down so bad. He lost some weight, man. He got in shape.
Get a new GM because he holding y'all back. We did get a new situation. Ron Rivera is technically our GM now, and then I actually really like Kyle Smith. He's had a couple of really nice drafts. But all right, how do I fix the Redskins right now? Well, it's hard to say because I don't know who's going to be available, but we need to get a tight end. So I would love to see maybe even a second-round tight end next year. We need a left tackle. I would like to see a tackle. We need a linebacker. I don't know who to get exactly, so it's a little sad. I have to see more of actually who's actually going to be a free agent in the offseason. But I need better linebacker play than what we're getting right now, and we need a free safety. So I like to go get Trey Lance. I would love to get Trey Lance. I think that immediately makes our team better. A Russell Wilson type player. So I would love to draft first round QB Trey Lance. But what I would actually prefer more is Dwayne Haskins freaking pan out. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see Dwayne Haskins. I said when he came in order for him to be good, he would have to be Big Ben Roethlisberger. That's his comp. Big-bodied, big arm. He's got to be Big Ben to win in this league. And if we have Big Ben, that's a hell of a quarterback. So I would love to see Dwayne Haskins be the guy, because then we can go get our left tackle early in next year's draft. We can draft. We're going to make some moves as far as to get more picks, I'm sure, because we're building the team. And I would love to get a tight end early, second or third round. I would like to see an early tight end. And I would like to see an early linebacker. So second or third round. So second and third round, I would like to see tight end linebacker or linebacker tight end. That would be what I would do. Why don't we trade for Njoku from the Browns? I don't know. I like that trade. But at the same time, like I said, right now we are seeing what we have. We're not trying to bring in anybody. I know it sucks, Chrissy, because you want to see this team win now. I do too. I want to see them win every single game. I'm rooting every year for 16-0. But right now, that's not where we are, unfortunately. And Ron Rivera is not making any moves to try to build this team as far as to try to like add a piece and give away capital, like any draft picks or anything like that. He wants to gain capital right now because he's going to want to start bringing his own guys in. So it's going to be tough. That's a great tight end pick. I agree. I like Njoku, and if we can get him for the right price, I'll take it easily. Trade Landon and a 2022 second-round pick to get the Packers for Davante Adams. He's had some health problems last 2 years, but I love Davante Adams. He's really, really good. Rivers is unable to coach. Who's our backup? Del Rio? Correct. Jack Del Rio has been a head coach twice in the past, so he would be our interim head coach if Ron Rivera's chemo would keep him off the field. Signed Quincy Enunwa. I know that name. He played for the Jets, right? Quincy Enunwa. Six foot 2, 225. Wow, ran a 4.5. Excuse me, a 4.45 at that size. Very interesting. Yeah. Tentatively, I don't mind that Quincy Enunwa pick. I like that. Yeah, if we want to go sign Quincy Enunwa. Is he available right now, or is he still on the Jets? What is he right now, free agent? He's a free agent. I like that pick a lot. Yeah, go get Enunwa. I like that a lot, actually. Great pick, Mike Pryor. Yeah, let's do that. I'm not bragging, but the Saints and Patriots have the best drafts. The Saints and Patriots have the best drafts. I love the Kamara pick. I can tell you that right now. And Michael Thomas in the second round. I mean, that's probably fair. They do. They do draft pretty well. Patriots actually have funny. They can't draft in the first round. Their first round picks as of the last few years have not really hit. But yeah, they just find all sorts of people, with the Wes Welkers, the Rex Burkheads, the these no-name people that somehow come in. They didn't draft Wes Welker. I know he started in the Dolphins, but still, they just make these guys really, really good. We only had a second-round pick, and we drafted a top 5 center. Can't argue with that, You only can do what you can do with the picks you have. It's nice to be like the Browns and have, I think they had 13 picks in one draft, but that meant nothing because they drafted 5 receivers, and I'm pretty sure all 5 receivers are not on the team, including Corey Coleman in the first round. Nobody drafts worse than the Browns. But I like what the Redskins have done lately with their draft picks. The Kyle Smith, basically our GM. He's our NFL scout, college. He does the draft board. He has done really well the last few drafts. We have a lot of guys getting playing time. A lot of guys getting playing time on our drafts. So what we're doing we have been building a team. We're young, and I believe we're close. I think we're getting pretty close as far as if we get we need a quarterback play, we need tight end, and I think if we got a linebacker and free safety on defense, we're not too far off from having a pretty darn good squad. So our defensive line's set pretty much. Even without Ryan Kerrigan, he's probably going to retire soon. Even without Ryan Kerrigan, we have 4 first-round draft picks there. Tim Settle and Matt Ioannidis are late-round picks that look really, really good. So our defensive line is set. Our corners are young and not bad. Kendall Fuller, Jimmy Moreland, Fabian Moreau, Ronald Darby. We can forget Ronald Darby. I don't really care for him. But, we're an interesting free safety. Cameron Curl, I hope you're right. I did not like that draft pick per se, but if he can end up being our starting free safety, that pick turns into an A++ because he's a 7th round pick, and coming from Arkansas, I didn't know what to expect from him, to be honest. And when I looked into him at draft day, I did not like the pick. I gave us a D for that pick. I thought it was a throwaway pick, but he's getting significant playing time. So already you can move that up to a C or a B pick. But if he becomes our starting free safety, A++. We're fine there. They just need to start him. Probably so. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, Chrissy. I would definitely take Cameron Curl over what we have in Troy Apke. But what sucks right now is Troy Apke has so much speed. Like, he should be a better free safety, but he's just not. We need a cornerback, a receiver, a tight end, and a left tackle. We fill those holes. We're easily 11-5, 12-win team. More important than everything you just said is quarterback. We have a quarterback. We're instantly a really good team. Hell, Karma is a 3rd rounder. Kamara, I know. Dude, Kamara saved my season, his rookie season. My fantasy year. I had drafted David Johnson, number 1 overall, and he got hurt in the first game. But then I replaced him with Kamara, and he was just going berserk that year. And so, yeah, what a pick in the 3rd round. This is why I don't like running backs and receivers early in drafts. In my opinion, you do not draft early receivers and early running backs. You can find these kind of weapons all over the place late in the draft. Like, I sent the guy a huge list. You do not draft these guys early. You want left tackles. You want defensive ends. You want quarterbacks. And then you want a fantastic safety or linebacker. Those are your first round picks. And if you are set at linebacker, quarterback, and safety, you continue to pound on that defensive line and you continue to pound on that offensive line. Beef up those big guys as long as you have a quarterback, a hell of a linebacker, and a good safety. After that, you can find a lot of those guys later. Maybe you can make an argument for a beast corner. If you get like Marlon Humphrey is fantastic, but in my opinion, you do not draft skill positions early. Antonio Brown, I believe, was a 4th round pick, not a 7th rounder, but the point still stands. Yeah, I agree. But Haskins got to play and be better. These next 2 games is going to be determined what we have. Yeah, I'd be curious. A big, I think, you know, we have to sweep the Giants. No, they have no Saquon Barkley. Sterling Shepard's banged up. I think right now we have to really beat the Giants. If we lose to the Giants, that's a very, very, very bad sign, especially for Dwayne Haskins. We can't lose to them. But just knowing we could have had Derrick Henry or Michael Thomas instead of Josh Jackson makes me so sad. Or even Will Fuller. Will Fuller was the guy that would trade it away. You know, we traded 1 pick back and they got Will Fuller. Yeah, anybody but freaking Josh Doxson. So bad. Yeah, Thomas was a first rounder, pick 16. Michael Thomas? No. Michael Thomas was not pick number 16. I know you're the Saints fan, but I completely reject that. He was a second round pick. I'm looking it up right now. Michael Thomas was not number 16. You know how I know you're wrong? Because when the hell have the freaking Saints drafted pick number 16? You haven't drafted over number 20 in forever. Round number 2, pick number 47. Round number 2, pick number 47. Thomas was a first rounder, pick number 16. You just pulled that out of your buttocks. That is not true. Rams, Giants, Cowboys, Giants, Lions, Bengals should be no less than 4-2 or 5-1. Yeah, I can definitely see us sweeping the Giants, beating the Lions and the Bengals, and losing to the Cowboys and Rams. That's a very reasonable take in my estimation. But we got to do it. He just pulled it out of your butt. No, that's all good, dude. That's funny. But no, I had looked it up. But yeah, I mean, Devontae Adams is a second round pick. Antonio Brown's a fourth round pick. Even DeAndre Hopkins was a late first round pick. I think he was pick number 27. Like, Julio Jones was a top 10 pick. That's fine. But DK Metcalf was a late second round pick. Terry McLaurin was a third round pick. Like, Keenan Allen, I'm pretty sure, was a second round pick. If I remember right. I could be wrong on that one. He may have been first. No, he was a third round pick. Keenan Allen was a third round pick. Yeah, dude, you can find so many weapons. So many weapons in late in the draft, man. Receivers is a position that so many people want to play, right? And running back. Like, they want the ball in their hand. They want to make the great catches. So you have all these young kids that want to play. That's why, like, our best athletes in the U.S. go to basketball, because all the young kids want to play basketball, right? No kid has grown up without a basketball in their hand, especially no boy, right? So we have all our best athletes go to basketball, right? And it's similar to that in just a football microcosm. Is all the best athletes want to be wide receivers and running backs. You know, now they're starting to become quarterbacks, but for a long time it's running backs and wide receivers. So you can get really good talent late in the draft because so much talent gravitates to those positions. So wait until later in the draft to get those picks. Is Will Fuller good? Will Fuller is pretty darn good. He's had some injury problems since he was drafted in the first round. He's not worth a first round draft pick. That's not true. But he's actually a really good receiver. He's fast. I think he runs a 4.3 or something like that. Like a 6'1", 6'2" guy. Will Fuller's pretty darn good. Keenan Allen was the only a late round pick because of his ACL injury. Otherwise, he would have been gone in the first. Well, good for the Chargers. Fair enough. Then was the Redskins still drafting wide receiver from top 10? They better draft the defense first. Yeah, do not draft the receiver. Oh my God. If we draft Jamar Chase, it's so bad. That's why the freaking Cowboys are losing, dude. Cowboys should be freaking winning games, but they drafted a receiver in the first round. Okay, I don't care how good CeeDee Lamb is. I think CeeDee Lamb is really, really good, but they already had a ton of weapons, and you can get more weapons at the receiving position. They should have drafted defensive back because their defensive backs right now are terrible. You know, the Saints was close to getting Mahomes. Anybody that would have got Mahomes would be better off for that. He's a fantastic guy, but also he went to the best situation there is. Let's be honest. Andy Reid is one of the best offensive play callers in the league. He also has Tyreek Hill. He also has Travis Kelce. You know, Sammy Watkins is his third option or fourth option sometimes. The dude's in a fantastic spot. So, you know, his center was an undrafted free agent that we got and we had on the team, and he made the team, but we ended up having to let him go, and they scooped him up. And I think the Browns actually scooped him up first. I don't know how. Austin Ryder is his name, the starting center over there in Kansas City, and he was decent. And Chris Cooley loved him. If Chris Cooley says something, he knows what's going on. What do you think we should change our name to? The word is still have a name by the start of the next season. I like the Red Wolves concept. I love the Red Wolves concept. I'm right there with you, Chrissy. Red Wolves is my pick. There's so much you could do with it, okay? You have the Wolfpack idea. You have call the stadium the Den. You can keep HTTR with Howl to the Red Wolves instead of Hail to the Redskins. You can switch up a few words and keep the fight song. Howl to the Red Wolves. Howl victory. You know, Wolfpack or whatever we want to say. Like, there's a few things you could change to the lyrics. Can't remember what all the ideas. The uniforms are cool. There's no NFL team with the wolf logo. Like, there's so much you could do. Imagine the entire stadium howling after a big touchdown or something like that. Like, there's so much, or howling after singing Howl to the Red Wolves, you know, and you end it with a big howl. There's so much you can do with the Red Wolves concept that I love, and you have there are endangered species, so you get some of that notoriety as far as like bringing attention to the endangered species of the red wolves. They're also used to be native to this area. They've spanned all the way from Texas to Pennsylvania. Now they're kind of down into the Carolinas. They're in the mountains of the Carolinas right now, but they used to be in the DC and Virginia area, Maryland as well. So I love the Red Wolves concept. That's my pick by far. I do not want the Warriors. Please no Warriors. And I don't want to stay the Washington football team. It's so stupid. I see sports. I want to keep Washington football team. It's such a stupid, stupid name. No, do not just stay Washington. Bro, not that much talent coming from this year's draft. The Seahawks knew that was the case. From this year's draft coming up. I don't know about that. Yep, I live in Maryland, Southern Maryland down here. Chesapeake Beach area. The best players are running backs. What do you mean by that, gaming? Oh, coming from the draft. The best. I watch college. I'm not seeing much. Gotcha. Fair enough. I don't watch much college at all. Right there with you, Chrissy. Right there with you, man. I'm very much a Redskins till the day I die. That's why they call us diehard fans, right? Redskins, man. I live in Louisiana. Good. Coming from New Orleans. I'm glad you stick with your home team, man. Stick with your home team. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm starting to yawn. All right, ladies and gents. I believe I am going to be getting off soon. I miss those days we had Santana Moss, the 3 big plays, man, back in 2007, 2005 rather. Yeah, man, those were the days. Back with Mark Brunell. You had Clinton Portis. Yeah, man, those Chris Cooley, Sean Taylor. Yep. You had a squad back then, man. You had a squad. Yep, I was a freshman in high school when Sean Taylor died. Rough times, man. Rough times. Such a sad story. Sad story. All right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. We have the Chiefs and the Patriots. That'll be fun. We have the Packers and the Falcons. You know, maybe we can see another great comeback from the Packers, aka another blown lead from the Falcons. But that is what we have, and I will see you right after the clocks hit 0 on that. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for all your comments. I really appreciate it. It's a lot of fun for me to sit here and talk with you guys, so I'm glad that you guys stick around. Thank you very, very much. Hopefully we got some subscribers tonight. That'd be awesome. But, you know, you guys hanging out here in the chat actually really does mean a lot. So I really appreciate it. But until next time, see ya.